Sit back and enjoy an hour of fascinating facts you didn't know. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's get started.
Hamako Mori, also known as Gamer Grandma, is the oldest video game YouTuber in the world. She was born on February 18, 1930, which makes her 94 years old. She began playing video games in 1981, at 51 years old, and created her YouTube channel in 2014. She currently spends about 8 hours a day playing and uploads 2 to 3 videos per month. A group of researchers from the Royal Veterinary College of London conducted a study in which they used soap bubbles and helium to visualize the flight of an owl. They discovered that owls generate air vortices when flapping their wings, creating a phenomenon known as induced drag. This phenomenon also occurs in airplanes and could be useful for aeronautical engineering in the future. In 1964, Swedish journalist Åke Axelsson devised an experiment to test whether art critics could distinguish between human work and that of an animal. He exhibited 4 paintings made by a chimpanzee named Peter under the name Pierre Brasseur, a supposed French artist. Although some reviews were negative, one stood out. Pierre is an artist whose pieces are carried out with the delicacy of a ballet dancer. Only one person correctly identified that the work was by the chimpanzee. This is one of the largest freshwater fish in the world, and it is capable of breathing outside of water. Its name is Arapaima, and it is distributed in dense, low-oxygen rivers throughout the Amazon basin in Brazil, Peru, and Guyana. This is due to its natural habitat, which has allowed it to acquire the ability to breathe pure air regularly. The body of this fish reaches 9.8 feet in length and weighs up to approximately 441 pounds. Xenos motoni is a parasite that infects Asian wasps, such as the Asian giant hornet or Vespa mandarinia. This parasite can grow to be larger than the host insect and alter its behavior. When an infected wasp interacts with another infected wasp, the male parasite transfers and mates with the female parasite inside the host. Then, the infected female wasp deposits the offspring into other uninfected insects, spreading the parasite throughout its environment. Snakes that feed on eggs, such as blind snakes, do not have teeth. They have extremely flexible jaws and necks that allow them to swallow large eggs, sometimes up to 3 times the size of their head. These adaptations allow them to consume their food without breaking the egg, since their bodies are designed to digest both the contents and the shell. In 1924, a human chess match was played in Leningrad, now St. Petersburg, between 2 grandmasters. It lasted 5 hours and ended in a draw. This event was a remarkable demonstration of chess, with each move carried out by actors dressed as chess pieces on a giant board. There are several artists known for creating miniatures and sculptures on the tip of pencils. One of the most famous is Dalton Getty, who carves intricate sculptures into pencil graphite. His meticulous and detailed work has captured the attention of many, demonstrating that art has no limits. Africa produces the largest amount of cocoa in the world, with Ivory Coast leading with 38% of global production. Other major producers include Ghana, Nigeria, and Cameroon. In Mexico, the main cocoa producers are Tabasco, which contributes more than 60% of national production, followed by Chiapas and Guerrero. When we wake up, we are taller than when we go to sleep, with a difference of between 0.4 and 0.8 inches. This is due to the reduction of pressure on the intervertebral discs of the spine during rest. The spine is made up of vertebrae separated by these discs, which expand during the night. A person's height is determined 80% by genetics and 20% by factors such as nutrition and environment. The trick of the woman being cut in half has been one of the great secrets of magicians, but someone decided to reveal it. With these images created by internet users, you can get an idea of how the famous trick is done. It involves 2 assistants, not one. Each hides half of her body, creating the illusion that she has been cut into 2 parts. This species is called Greta Odo, also known as the glass-wing butterfly. It belongs to the family Nymphalidae. Its wings are transparent due to the lack of colored scales in the tissue between the veins. Tickle Me Elmo is an interactive toy famous for its movements and sounds. Its internal structure is made up of wires, gears, and metal mechanisms that allow these functions. Without its characteristic red plush fabric covering, the toy reveals its mechanical design. This uncovered appearance can be striking and give it a creepy look. In California, driving too slowly can result in a fine of up to $238. State law seeks to prevent drivers from interfering with the normal flow of traffic. According to the Vehicle Code, maintaining a minimum speed is mandatory on certain roads. However, there are exceptions in specific cases, such as adverse weather conditions or safety reasons, which allow driving below the established limit.
Atomic immobility is a natural state of paralysis in certain animals, including sharks. In them, it can be induced by gently stroking their snout, where they have sensitive nerve endings. This phenomenon is sometimes used by researchers to study sharks safely. However, not all species respond the same way, and the practice must be carried out with caution. On the moon, there is a small sculpture called Fallen Astronaut, and a plaque that pays tribute to astronauts and cosmonauts who died in space missions. It was left during the Apollo 15 mission in 1971 by astronaut David Scott. A human consumes between 100 and 3,000 calories per day, depending on age and physical activity. On the other hand, the blue whale, the largest animal in the world, consumes about 16 tons of krill daily. This is equivalent to approximately 20 million calories.
Tree growth rings represent each year of a tree's life. The light sections indicate rapid growth in spring, while the darker ones reflect slow growth in autumn. Narrower rings can signal droughts, while wider ones indicate favorable climates. In addition, dark scars in the rings can provide evidence of fires. This method, known as dendrochronology, allows past climatic and environmental events to be studied with precision and is a valuable tool in scientific research. The borzoi, also known as the Russian wolfhound, is a dog breed known for its long and elegant snout. Although it cannot be stated that it has the longest snout absolutely, this feature is one of its most distinctive traits and makes it stand out among other breeds. The original animatronic used in the movie E.T. the Extraterrestrial was an innovative piece created by Carlo Rambaldi. This model, built in 1981, had 85 points of movement and was a feat of engineering for its time. Today, the animatronic is considered a cinematic relic and has been auctioned for millions of dollars. In China, it is relatively common for some people to refuse to sell their homes to construction companies, even when large urban development projects are planned. These properties, known as nail houses, often end up surrounded by highways, skyscrapers, or other constructions, as owners resist purchase offers for various reasons, such as personal principles or disagreements over compensation. Dr. Donald Unger carried out a personal experiment for more than 60 years, cracking the knuckles of his left hand daily while avoiding doing so with his right hand. At the end of this long experiment, he found no differences between the two hands and did not develop arthritis in either one. Meet Sabetta cyaneus. It is the most elegant mosquito in the world. Its metallic blue color contrasts with the silver spots on its abdomen. Its legs have elongated scale-like structures that resemble feathers. Li Longlong, a Chinese man, holds the Guinness record for climbing 36 steps using only his head. He achieved this on January 5, 2015, during a special program in China. Previously, he had climbed 34 steps, a record he shared with Zhao Xiaolong. In Yoro, a small city in northern Honduras, fish rain from the sky. This strange phenomenon occurs once a year between May and June during the transition from spring to summer and has been happening for more than 100 years. The streets are flooded with small silver fish of the sardine or pislancha species, which are curiously often still alive. Locals consider it a gift from the sky, since so far no scientific explanation has been found. Atlas is a humanoid robot developed by Boston Dynamics and first presented in 2013. Over the years, it has been continuously improved and optimized to perform various tasks, with a special focus on search and rescue. Atlas has been tested in extreme temperatures and can carry heavy objects, walk on unstable terrain, maintain balance, and even perform backflips. In Denmark, there is a tradition in which friends and family of a person who turns 25 and is still single shower them with cinnamon. Sometimes the person is tied to a chair or a lamppost to make the ritual more effective. This custom is believed to bring good luck and help the person find a partner. The Galapagos Islands, located in Ecuador, are famous for their astonishing biodiversity. These islands were fundamental to the development of Charles Darwin's theories of evolution. He visited them in 1835 and observed various species that helped him formulate his theory of natural selection. Although there is no conclusive scientific evidence to support the claim that mustard helps relieve muscle cramps, it is a popular home remedy among some athletes. The theory suggests that electrolytes in mustard, such as sodium and potassium, may help replenish minerals lost during exercise. In addition, it is believed that mustard and other strong-flavored foods activate a group of nerve receptors in the mouth that stimulate and distract the nervous system, interrupting the nerve impulses that cause cramps. The Moraki boulders are large, round rocks found on the coast of New Zealand, near Kokohe Beach in Otago. These rock formations were created by the cementation of sediments on the seafloor approximately 60 million years ago. Their unique appearance has led to various theories about their origin, including that they are dinosaur eggs or extraterrestrial remains. Shin Rashik is a Japanese artist known for his moving paper illustrations. He uses creative techniques to transform two-dimensional prints into dynamic works that seem to come to life. His work combines art and technical skill, standing out for its originality and detail. Ninjas were secret agents during the feudal period of Japan, acting as spies and saboteurs. Although historical ninjas no longer exist, the art of ninjutsu has been preserved and adapted into modern martial arts. There are schools that teach techniques based on traditional methods. In addition, ninjas have a strong presence in popular culture, appearing in movies, series, and video games. Their stealth techniques have also been adapted into modern security and espionage practices. Artificial clouds do exist. They are a technological innovation created to combat climate change by manipulating Earth's weather. They are created by dispersing particles into the atmosphere to reflect solar radiation and thus cool the planet. It is a mixture of hydrogen and oxygen, that is vapor, which when released into the sky begins to cause rain after about 1 hour. Germany has the only tree in the world with its own postal code. It is known as the love oak, and each year receives about 1,000 letters from people looking for a partner. The idea is that anyone can take a letter from the tree and contact the person. This tradition, which began in 1890, has brought many couples together over the years. In 2018, the Russian brand of Domino's Pizza launched a promotion promising 100 free pizzas per year to anyone who got the company's logo tattooed. However, only 2 days after launching the promotion, they began receiving photos from hundreds of brand fans who had completed the challenge. Because of this, Domino's Pizza added more rules. They would only accept the first 350 people. They also specified the size of the tattoo and the parts of the body where it was allowed. McDonald's is one of the most successful franchises in the world, but there is a country where it is not very popular. In 2014, McDonald's arrived in Vietnam. At first, it was well received, and people lined up to try its burgers. But the excitement quickly faded, and sales began to decline. Locals prefer to eat at traditional Vietnamese food spots because the service is much faster and cheaper. Penguins have long necks, but this is not obvious due to the thick layers of fat and feathers that cover their bodies. These features help keep them warm in cold climates, giving the impression that they do not have a visible neck. Silver ferns can leave temporary tattoos on the skin when they come in contact with their reproductive spores. These adhere superficially, forming visible patterns that fade over time, since they do not penetrate the skin. This is Busted Bingo, a game in which the participants are criminals, and the prize is going to jail. The idea came from the Sheriff's Office of Sullivan County in Tennessee. In this game, each criminal is assigned a randomly chosen number, and the winner receives an all-inclusive stay in a county jail cell. This drawing was broadcast publicly with the intention of allowing people to get involved in the game and contact the police if they found the criminal. In the village of Baunay, France, curved and intersecting lines were painted on the asphalt as a measure to reduce driver speed. This strategy aims to visually confuse drivers and make them slow down unconsciously. The measure has been effective and is an example of how simple interventions can improve road safety. This is Stephanie Millinger, a famous Austrian acrobat and contortionist, known for her impressive skills and her ability to perform extreme acrobatics. Her performances are truly incredible, and she has gained recognition worldwide for her feats. Ashrita Furman from the United States is recognized as the person with the most Guinness World Records in the world. Since 1979, he has set more than 600 official records and currently holds more than 200 of them. His achievements span a wide variety of skills, including juggling, long-distance running, and other unusual categories.
Jamie Keaton, known as Canhead, has a strange condition that causes objects to stick to his skin. He discovered this phenomenon at 7 years old, and doctors found that his skin absorbs 23% more oxygen than that of an average person. Although the exact cause is unknown, this peculiarity makes him unique in the world, with only 3 similar cases documented. This man found a bird preserved in ice. It was in perfect condition and even had its eyes open.
This rare event was possible thanks to several factors. Most likely, the bird dove headfirst into icy water to hunt a fish. If you have ever seen a video where the water in a bottle freezes when it is given a small impact, that is exactly what happened here. The lake water was probably below the freezing point when the bird came into contact with it, triggering the freezing process and encapsulating it inside a solid layer of ice. The name Crayola comes from the combination of the French word crayer, which means chalk, and ola, which refers to oily or oleaginous. This name was created by Alice Binney, the wife of one of Crayola's founders. It reflects the original characteristics of crayons, which were oily and similar to chalk. The sculpture Karma, created by artist Do Ho Soo, consists of 98 sculptures arranged in an ascending formation and is located in places such as Sydney and the Sculpture Garden of the New Orleans Museum of Art. Clyde Tombaugh, the man who discovered Pluto, was the first person to see the celestial body up close. Well, his ashes were. They were aboard the New Horizons spacecraft, which flew past Pluto in 2015. The photograph of the iceberg believed to have sunk the Titanic was taken the following morning by the captain of the SMS Prince Adalbert. The iceberg was photographed approximately 11 or 12 hours after the sinking. This was the check for $7.2 million, with which the United States bought Alaska from the Russians in 1867. Today, this is equivalent to $144 million. This transaction is considered one of the most strategic and profitable deals in history due to Alaska's natural resources and strategic location. The dish considered the most delicious varies by culture, but sushi often stands out for its sophistication and freshness. In contrast, surströmming, a fermented herring from Sweden, is famous for its strong smell and acquired taste, making it one of the least appetizing foods for many people. In the classic game Pac-Man, the ghosts Blinky, Pinky, Inky, and Clyde turn blue and become edible when Pac-Man consumes a power pellet. However, starting at level 18, the ghosts no longer change color and remain in their normal form. This makes the game more challenging, as Pac-Man must constantly avoid the ghosts. Leafcutter ants are true farmers. They do not eat the leaves they cut, but instead use them to cultivate fungi in their nests. These fungi are their primary source of food. Paper Paul, an artist known for his pop-up cards, has created a collection based on popular internet memes. However, due to copyright restrictions, these cards are not available for sale. This project is part of his artistic initiative called Pop-Up Book of Memes. Dutch police have been training eagles to intercept and take down drones that fly illegally in restricted areas. This pilot project is carried out in collaboration with the company Guards from Above and has proven to be an effective and safe solution to address the problem of unauthorized drones. The flying dragon, scientifically known as Dracovolans, is a lizard that can extend skin flaps attached to its movable ribs to form wings. These wings allow it to glide from one tree to another, although it cannot sustain flight. Its length ranges between 7.5 and 9.1 inches, and its diet is based mainly on arboreal ants and termites. Meet the purple frog, also known as Nasica batrachus siadrensis, which inhabits the Western Ghats of India. This species was discovered in 2003 and is famous for its distinctive appearance and subterranean habits. Its skin is dark purple, and its body is stocky with short limbs. Due to its unique look and behavior, it is considered one of the strangest frogs in the world. This video shows how G-force can temporarily distort a person's face. It goes from looking 20 years old to 70 in a matter of seconds due to the facial distortion caused by high acceleration. Hummingbird feathers are extremely small, with some measuring only a few millimeters in length. The smallest hummingbird, the bee hummingbird, has feathers that are almost the size of a penny. This is a ghost apple, a phenomenon that occurs under the most extreme weather conditions. When temperatures drop too low, apples begin to decompose and eventually rot. When freezing rain settles on them, it freezes instantly, creating a shell of ice around them. When temperatures rise slightly, the already rotten fruit thaws before the ice and falls to the ground, leaving behind its icy ghost. According to legend, when the Spanish conquistadors captured the Inca Emperor Atahualpa, they offered to free him in exchange for filling a room up to the ceiling with gold. Although the Incas gathered a large amount of gold, Atahualpa was executed before the ransom was completed. It is said that part of this gold was hidden somewhere in the Andes and has never been found. The first minted coin in the world dates back to the 6th century before Christ in Lydia, a region of what is now Turkey. These coins were made from a mixture of gold and silver called electrum. The Lydians began stamping images onto the coins to guarantee their value, thus creating the foundation of money as we know it today.
Hummingbirds have an extremely high metabolic rate due to their rapid metabolism and active flight. This is reflected in their heart rate, which can become incredibly fast, reaching up to 1,200 beats per minute during flight.
Snorlax, the Pokemon, was depicted in reclining or lying down positions in games and series up to Generation 6 when it was finally shown standing.
Have you ever wondered why some sweaters or hoodies have that triangle on the collar? Originally, its function was to absorb sweat around the chest after exercise, preventing sweat from deforming or stretching the neckline.
Most school buses are yellow because this color is highly visible in low light conditions and is easily perceived even by people with vision problems. The color yellow was officially adopted for school buses in the United States in 1939. The pygmy seahorse, scientifically known as Hippocampus bargibanti, is one of the smallest seahorse species in the world. Its size barely exceeds 0.8 inches. In addition, these tiny seahorses are known for their impressive camouflage ability, which allows them to blend perfectly into their surroundings. If humanity were to disappear, the Earth would slowly regenerate. Cities and structures would crumble and vegetation would reclaim urban spaces. Ecosystems would rebalance as animal species adapted without human intervention. Pollution would decrease and nature would recover its course. In thousands of years, the planet could return to a state similar to what it was like before humanity. This Djinni is one of the rarest in the world. Inlavu gin is a unique South African gin made using ingredients derived from elephant dung. The dung is dried, sterilized, clarified, and infused into the gin. Each bottle of Inlavu carries the GPS coordinates of the location where the dung was collected and the collection date. The price of a bottle is approximately $35. The smallest international bridge in the world is the El Marco International Bridge, which connects Spain and Portugal. This bridge has a length of only 10.5 feet and is located over the Abriloko stream on the border between the two countries. This jewelry created by Polish designer Ewa Nowak consists of a kind of metal mask with 3 figures that fit the face and to secure to the head using a wire on the sides, similar to how eyeglasses are worn. The secret to how it works lies in the reflective material that tricks facial recognition software. Novak has tested the piece using Facebook's Deep Face algorithm and has shown that it can block facial recognition. Scotland has the highest proportion of redheads in the world, with approximately 13% of its population having red hair. This trait is due to a genetic variant that is more common in the northern and western regions of the country. In areas such as the Isle of Skye, the frequency of redheads can reach up to 40%. This characteristic is a source of cultural pride, and many Scots consider red hair a symbol of identity and national heritage. In 2018, a viral video showed Pancho, a police dog from the Madrid Municipal Police, practicing a cardiopulmonary resuscitation maneuver on a fellow police officer during a drill. Pancho demonstrated his skills by performing chest compressions on the man and checking his pulse. The Cathedral of Notre Dame in Paris, one of the most iconic symbols of Gothic architecture, began construction in 1163 and was completed in 1345. Most surprising is that its famous gargoyles do not only serve a decorative purpose, but also a practical one. They act as drains to prevent rainwater from damaging the walls of the church. After the devastating fire of 2019, restoration efforts are underway to return it to its original splendor. Various studies have shown that people tend to be more creative in the shower. Warm water helps relax muscles and reduce stress, creating a state of relaxation. In addition, the absence of external distractions in the shower allows the mind to wander and generate new ideas, fostering creativity. The famous painting The Starry Night by Vincent van Gogh was painted in 1889 during his stay at the St. Paul de Mossol Psychiatric Hospital, where he was admitted due to mental health issues, including episodes of depression and hallucinations. The painting represents the view from the window of his room at the asylum and is one of the artist's most recognized works. The Netherlands and Azerbaijan are the only 2 countries that have their capitals below sea level. In the case of the Netherlands, its capital, Amsterdam, is located approximately 6.6 feet below sea level. On the other hand, Baku, the capital of Azerbaijan, is located on the coast of the Caspian Sea, which is the largest lake in the world and lies 91.9 feet below sea level. The aardvark is a nocturnal mammal native to sub-Saharan Africa. Its physical characteristics include rabbit-like ears, a kangaroo-like tail, and a snout similar to that of pigs. Its diet consists mainly of ants and termites, and it digs underground burrows to shelter from the heat during the day, coming out only at night to hunt. North Pole in Alaska is a small city with a population of approximately 2,740 inhabitants. In fact, one of the city council members is named Santa Claus. His real name is Thomas Patrick O'Connor, and he changed his name to help raise awareness for his activism in child health and well-being. The Gateshead Millennium Bridge is located over the River Tyne between Gateshead and Newcastle in England. Due to its peculiar design, it is considered the only tilting bridge in the world. It was designed by architect Wilkinson Eyre and structural engineer Gifford, and measures approximately 394 feet in length. When a boat needs to pass beneath the bridge, a true engineering spectacle takes place. Having only one guinea pig is illegal in Switzerland. In 2008, this new reform was included in the country's animal rights law. These small animals are very anxious creatures that normally live in groups and need a companion in order to live calmly. Leaving a guinea pig without a friend is considered torture and a crime, for which people must face Swiss law. Bears are extremely intelligent animals. They have a great ability to find food and avoid hunters. Animal trainers and biologists claim that bears are more cunning than dogs, and that their intelligence is almost on the same level as that of chimpanzees.
In Sweden, there is an adorable pony named Alvin who has entered the Guinness Book of Records for being the only pony capable of walking 16.4 feet on its two hind legs. The trainer admits that when she first met Alvin, she saw something special in him that made him unique. Thanks to strict training and many rewards, he managed to break this record.
This is the beach in Mexico where the sea glows at night. Holbox Island in the Mexican Caribbean is known for its spectacular bioluminescence. This phenomenon occurs due to the presence of microorganisms in the water that emit light when disturbed, creating a blue or green glow. It is an impressive and unique experience that you can enjoy on this beautiful island. This is one of the most astonishing soccer stadiums in the world. It is located in Norway and was built on the island of Lofoten. It is called Henningsvær and has incredible views of the mountains, the open sea, and several sheltered bays. However, it does not have conventional stands, but instead about 6.6 feet of port asphalt around the field, which is enough for local kids to train. It is worth noting that the village has a population of only about 500 people. You are looking at the largest navigable bridge in the world. It has a length of approximately 3,011 feet and a width of about 112 feet, along with two pedestrian walkways. It is located in Magdeburg, Germany, and connects the Elbe-Havel Canal with the Midland Canal. To support the weight of the water and the boats that cross it, at least 52,910,000 pounds of steel and more than 2,401,000 cubic feet of concrete were used. The person responsible for creating these incredible works is photographer Monica Carvalho, a Swiss photographer who lives in Berlin, Germany. She has gone viral on social media for her surreal images, which she creates by combining photos of herself, her friends, pets, places she has visited, and various objects. Her image combinations are striking and manage to blend a wide variety of colors, textures, and shapes to produce amazing results. This is an impressive mecha suit. It is a giant robot skeleton that can be operated by a person. It was developed by a group of students at the National Institute of Technology of Okinawa. The robotic structure measures 9.8 feet in height and weighs close to 88 pounds. Despite looking quite impressive, the robot does not have many movements. Its price is around $93,000. Starbucks was founded in 1971 in Seattle as a store selling coffee beans and equipment. It was not until Howard Schultz joined in 1982 that the company began to shift its focus toward coffee houses. After a trip to Italy, Schultz was inspired by cafe culture and decided to introduce the espresso experience to the United States. In 1996, Starbucks opened its first store in Chicago, and since then it has grown to become the largest coffeehouse chain in the world, with more than 30,000 locations in over 80 countries. In addition, the iconic siren logo is based on a two-tailed figure from Greek mythology. Soccer is the most popular sport in the world, with more than 4 billion fans. The first FIFA World Cup was held in 1930 in Uruguay and was won by the host team. Since then, the tournament has become the most watched sporting event on the planet, with hundreds of millions of people tuning in to watch the final. Soccer has transcended borders, becoming a universal language. This is splash diving, a peculiar sport that consists of creating large splashes when falling into the water. To achieve this, participants usually dive like a cannonball, allowing them to create a greater impact in the pool. According to people who practice this discipline, it is not as painful as it seems. Competitors must perform 4 jumps. The first is judged only on the splash, but the other 3 earn points for acrobatics before hitting the water.
Contemporary artist Ava Roth is known for her honeycombs collection. She collaborates with bee colonies to create unique works of art. Roth creates her designs using threads and other materials and then places these designs inside beehives, where the bees build honeycombs around them. This process results in impressive works of art that combine human creativity with nature.
Heineken was founded in 1864 by Gerard Adriaan Heineken in the Netherlands, but its global success is due to his grandson, Freddie Heineken, who expanded the brand internationally. Freddie believed in the power of design, which is why the letter E in the logo tilts upward to convey a friendlier image. He was also a pioneer in global marketing campaigns, highlighting the green color and the red star, iconic elements that represent the brand worldwide.
Methylene chloride found in scientific toys, such as the hand boiler, has a high vapor pressure. This allows the liquid to expand and rise when it is worn by the hand, creating a fascinating effect. This toy is popular in educational settings because it demonstrates principles of physics and chemistry in a visual and entertaining way. This is Sevny, a village in the Black Forest, Germany, known for its tree houses. Each house measures approximately 700 square feet and has 2 bedrooms with a balcony, a bathroom, a fully equipped kitchen, and a living area. They also have Wi-Fi, television, and are built from local white fir at a height of approximately 14.8 feet. These cars you are seeing are not the result of Photoshop. They actually exist and are the work of Austrian artist Erwin Wurm, known for his unusual sculptures. His series of inflated cars is one of his most famous creations. He began working on these sculptures in 2004 and uses a mixture of polyurethane foam and polystyrene to shape them. These sculptures have a truly curious appearance and make the cars look as if they are inflated like balloons. Meet Alex, considered the most intelligent parrot in history. He had a vocabulary of 150 words taught by American psychologist Irene Pepperberg, which allowed him to identify objects, numbers, colors, and shapes. Part of the scientific community believes that there were actually no true achievements in the research, and that the bird was simply imitating words to obtain rewards without recognizing their meanings. However, it was confirmed that Alex could reason at a basic level. Sadly, he died in 2007 at 31 years of age.
This is the Argus 2, a bionic eye that allows a blind person to see a small part of their surroundings. Specialists place an electronic implant in the patient's retina. Then, the small camera in the glasses worn by the user captures what is in front of them. A portable device connected to the glasses processes the image and sends the information to the implant, which helps the brain interpret the image. The result is black and white vision without detail. Airplanes have red and green lights on the tips of their wings to indicate their relative position and direction, helping other pilots see them. The red light is on the left, and the green light is on the right. They are turned on from the moment the pilot enters the cockpit until leaving it after landing. They are used both day and night and in low visibility conditions. In addition, in the event of a possible collision, each aircraft must turn toward the green light to quickly move away. In Prague, there's one of the oldest clocks in the world. It is the Prague astronomical clock. And it is not an ordinary clock. It was installed in 1410, more than 600 years ago. It is the only astronomical clock from its era that still works. In addition to telling the time, it shows the position of the sun and the moon in the sky, and even features a small show with moving figures every hour. Throughout our lives, our nose is always within our field of vision, but thanks to visual suppression, the brain ignores this information. This process allows the brain to filter out unnecessary information and focus on the surrounding environment. Visual suppression is essential for a coherent perception of the world, preventing our vision from being obstructed by the constant presence of our own nose.
Mark Court, a British artist, has been solely responsible for painting the pinstripes on Rolls-Royce automobiles since 2003. He works at the Goodwood plant in England and performs his work entirely by hand without the help of machines. In addition, customers can request personalized and more complex designs, such as flowers, horse heads, and initials.
Did you know that flour made from cockroaches exists? It is an alternative produced by Brazilian researchers to combat the food shortages expected in the future due to the growth of the human population. A variety native to northern Africa, called the locust cockroach, makes up only 10% of the flour. It is made from this ground insect, but since it is a rich source of protein, it can increase the nutritional value of foods. In addition, according to its creators, its taste is not very different from that of regular flour.
This is the oldest piano in the world. It was made in 1720 by the pianist Bartolomeo Cristofori, an Italian musician who invented the first pianos in 1700, paving the way for the modern piano. Although its keyboard is short, it includes low, middle, and high tones, making it a very versatile accompaniment. This instrument has been an important model in the construction of pianos over the past centuries.
The Shimao Wonderland Intercontinental Hotel, also known as the Songjiang Quarry Hotel, was built inside an abandoned quarry near Shanghai, China. This luxury hotel has 337 rooms distributed across 18 floors, 2 of which are underwater. It opened to the public in November of 2017 and has become a landmark in architecture and hospitality. In southwestern Siberia, in the Kuzbas region, black snow is a real phenomenon. This occurs due to coal dust emissions from factories and mines in the area that exceed the capacity of filtration systems. These dark particles adhere to the snow, causing it to appear black. This phenomenon is harmful to health and the environment, and authorities are working to address the problem. The Vatican is the largest owner of gold in the world, with 60,000 tons, representing 30% of all the gold extracted in history. This is twice the amount of gold held in reserve by all the countries of the world combined. For most of the past 1,000 years, the Catholic Church has held a dominant position that has allowed it to control gold markets worldwide to such a degree that it is capable of eradicating global poverty twice. Believe it or not, this gift was sold for $500,000. For the 10th anniversary of Nyan Cat, its creator, Chris Torres, decided to make a remastered version and auction it on an art platform. This piece was sold for $500,000. A surprisingly high and absurd figure, considering the simplicity of the work.
This is how waste is removed from an airplane. When the aircraft lands, the waste is extracted using a hose system connected to a truck's holding tank. On average, close to 106 gallons of waste are removed from a flight carrying 200 passengers.
In Colombia, there is a population of hippopotamuses that descends from those that were part of Pablo Escobar's personal zoo at Hacienda Nápoles. After Escobar's death, these hippopotamuses were released and have proliferated in the Magdalena Medio region, becoming an invasive species that threatens local biodiversity. The animatronic suits used in the first live-action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie were an impressive achievement in special effects technology and design for their time. These suits, created by Jim Henson's Creature Shop, allowed for a wide range of facial expressions and movements because the turtles' mouths, eyes, and heads were motorized. Everything seen in the movie is made with practical effects, with no computer-generated imagery of any kind. The actors inside the suits had to coordinate closely with the animatronic operators to synchronize movements and expressions, which required great skill and teamwork. The atmosphere of Mars is approximately 100 times thinner than that of Earth, which causes heat from the sun to escape quickly. This results in large temperature fluctuations between day and night. At midday on Mars, you could experience warmth on your feet, around 75 degrees Fahrenheit, and cold on your head, around 32 degrees Fahrenheit, due to the low density of the Martian atmosphere. Kitum Cave, located in Mount Elgon National Park in Kenya, is considered one of the most dangerous natural places in the world. The cave is known for harboring deadly viruses such as the Marburg virus, which can cause severe hemorrhagic fever. The entrance to the cave is difficult to traverse and presents additional risks due to the unusual animals that inhabit its interior, including elephants and bats. The sport of hashing originated in Malaysia in 1938, when Gisbert convinced his friends in a bar to run while drinking beer. Today, it is practiced in groups of 10 people, with 2 runners going ahead, leaving trails of flour that the rest must follow. The winning team is the first to arrive back at the bar they started from, with a minimum level of alcohol in their blood. In addition to being extremely intelligent, crows are very curious and playful. They are among the few animals that play. Watch how they use a car windshield as a slide, or a wooden stick to surf through the air. Puffins are seabirds known for their colorful beaks and picturesque appearance. They are monogamous and maintain a single partner for life. Once they reach maturity, generally around 4 or 5 years of age, they begin to seek a mate with whom they will form a lifelong bond.
Crop circles are complex patterns that appear in crop fields and whose origin remains a mystery. Although some have been attributed to pranksters, others remain unexplained, which has fueled theories about paranormal phenomena or extraterrestrial activity. These patterns have been reported in different parts of the world, mainly in the United Kingdom since the 1970s.
Elvis Presley, known as the King of Rock and Roll, was born with blonde hair. However, at 22 years old in 1957, he decided to dye it black to project a tougher and more attractive image. This change in appearance was strategic and contributed to his iconic figure, helping him capture the attention of a wider audience. In 1928, British scientist Alexander Fleming accidentally discovered penicillin, the first antibiotic. This discovery revolutionized modern medicine and has saved countless lives by effectively treating bacterial infections.
Adult owls usually sleep standing up, but chicks sleep lying on their stomachs with their heads resting to the side because their heads are too heavy for their bodies.
Meet the monowheel, a large vehicle that places the rider inside the wheel, along with handlebars, a seat, and in modern versions, a motor. It emerged as a curiosity in past times and served a purpose in its era. Although it was popular at the time, it fell out of use with the arrival of the automobile.
African elephants have proven to be much more difficult to domesticate than Asian elephants. Although there are cases of African elephants being trained in reserves and parks, they have not been domesticated or used in the same way as Asian elephants for agricultural work and transportation.
Although the existence of King Arthur is a subject of debate, his legend has endured through the centuries. He is said to have been a British leader who defended his land from Saxon invaders, and whose court at Camelot was a model of chivalry and justice. The Magic Fort is an inflatable tent developed by the startup Decathlon. This hybrid tent can function both as a camper and a garage, creating a glamping space with the automobile housed inside and turning it into the cozy second floor of a large campsite. Campers can enjoy several individual rooms for changing clothes, entertainment, and relaxing in nature. The Cave of the Crystals, also known as the Nika Cave, is located about 984 feet underground in Nika, Chihuahua, Mexico. The selenite gypsum crystals in this cave are truly impressive, with some reaching more than 39.4 feet in length. The cave is extremely hot, with temperatures that can reach 136.4 degrees Fahrenheit. Some airlines have equipped their airplanes with cameras that allow passengers to see takeoff and landing from their seats. These cameras are located in different parts of the aircraft, such as the landing gear and the tail, and transmit real-time images to the seatback screens. The disappearance of all animals would have devastating effects on ecosystems. The food chain would collapse, affecting pollination and seed dispersal. This would lead to the extinction of many plants and soil degradation. Without animals, the nutrient cycle would be disrupted, negatively impacting biodiversity and the climate. The natural balance of the Earth would be severely affected, resulting in drastic changes to ecosystems and the global climate. Pseudoscorpions are tiny arachnids that measure between 0.08 and 0.31 inches and resemble scorpions but lack a venomous stinger. They are harmless to humans and feed on pests such as ants, mites, and larvae. For this reason, they are useful allies in keeping homes free of unwanted insects. Due to their small size and ability to hide, it is rare to see them. The lunar rover, the first electric vehicle sent to space, was first used during the Apollo 15 mission in 1971. The rover's parts were transported in the lunar module and assembled by the astronauts on the moon. Designed to operate in low-gravity conditions and withstand extreme temperatures of up to -238 degrees Fahrenheit, the rover reached a maximum speed of approximately 11 miles per hour on the lunar surface. Japanese scientists have developed a prototype robot called Dragon Firefighter. This robot, inspired by flying dragons, uses a hose approximately 13.1 feet long that is propelled by water jets. The goal is to help firefighters extinguish fires from a distance, keeping them safe. The stone figures of Marcahuasi and the Peruvian Andes are natural rock formations that appear to represent human and animal figures. Although some suggest they were carved by ancient civilizations or have extraterrestrial origins, most experts believe they are the result of natural erosion. In 1984, at the age of 12, Elon Musk wrote and sold the code for his first game, Blastar, to the South African magazine PC and Office Technology for $500. This was his first programming project and one of his earliest experiences in the world of video games. Although Mount Kilimanjaro is known for being the highest mountain in Africa and for its snow-capped peak, It is actually an inactive volcano made up of 3 volcanic cones: Kibo, Mawenzi, and Shira.
The Proteus, also known as the olm or human fish, is an aquatic amphibian that lives in caves in the Balkan region, especially in Slovenia, Croatia, and Bosnia and Herzegovina. It is notable for its unique appearance and adaptations to subterranean life. It has lost skin pigmentation, and its eyes are atrophied since it lives in complete darkness. Instead of sight, it relies on other senses, such as smell and sensitivity to vibrations.
Mamenchisaurus cynocanidorum, a sauropod dinosaur from the late Jurassic, is known for having the longest neck ever recorded in history. Its neck could measure up to 49.2 feet, which is equivalent to 6 times the length of a giraffe's neck. Its enormous neck is a fascinating example of sauropod evolution, as these dinosaurs developed such features to feed on taller vegetation. In 2015, scientists at the University of Rochester in the United States developed a super hydrophobic metal surface using a high-powered laser process. This surface repels water extremely, causing droplets to bounce as if they were rubber balls.
The world's first robotic exoskeleton for children was developed by Spanish engineer Elena Garcia. This exoskeleton was nominated for the European Inventor Award in 2022. It consists of a titanium suit that fits the patient's body and is connected to a battery that powers a network of small motors with sensors. These components function as mechanical joints that adjust to the bone structure and detect subtle movements, while also cushioning sudden impacts.
Throwing stones across water to make them bounce is called stone skipping. To do it well, the throw must be made at a low height with a flat disc-shaped stone. It is important that the water is calm and that there is little wind. The world record for stone skipping is 88 skips, achieved by Kurt Steiner in 2013.
Spiders can adjust the tension of their webs to better detect vibrations. By doing so, they can distinguish between different types of vibrations produced by prey, predators, or potential mates. This ability is crucial for their survival and hunting success.
In 2020, a red-haired albino seal with blue eyes was discovered on Tuleni Island in the Sea of Okhotsk, Russia. This phenomenon is extremely rare, with a probability of approximately 1 in 100,000. These seals can be rejected by their colony due to their unusual appearance. Toby, a whippet dog, achieved the Guinness record for popping 100 balloons in 36.536 seconds. Not all monarch butterflies have the same lifespan. Generally, they live for 2 to 6 weeks, but the 4th generation, which migrates south in search of warmer places, lives between 6 and 8 months. For his role in the movie Castaway, Tom Hanks gained approximately 50 pounds to better portray the character Chuck Noland. After filming the first half, production stopped for 1 year so that Hanks could lose the weight and grow his hair and beard before continuing with the second half. The Padmanabha Swami Temple in India is famous for its treasure valued at approximately $22 billion, composed of gold, precious stones, and historical artifacts. Although several vaults have been opened, Vault B remains closed, and its contents continue to be a mystery. Its history and secrets make it a unique place that inspires curiosity and awe. Our fingers do not have muscles. Instead, they are made up of bones, ligaments, and tendons. The muscles that control finger movement are located in the forearm, and those that control the toes are located in the calves. The Truck Surf Hotel is a mobile hotel based on a modified Mercedes Actros. This hotel allows guests to enjoy activities such as surfing, yoga, trekking, and horseback riding while traveling and changing destinations without leaving its facilities. It also features all the amenities of a regular hotel, including a kitchen, bathroom, and bedrooms. The first color photograph in history was taken by James Clerk Maxwell in 1861. Maxwell used a technique known as the Maxwell Triad, which consisted of taking 3 black and white photographs using red, green, and blue filters. These images were then projected using corresponding filters to recreate a color image on a screen. Box turtles belonging to the genus Terrapene have the unique ability to completely close their shells. The lower part of their shell, called the plastron, works like a hinge, allowing the turtle to shut its shell to protect itself from predators. The search for extraterrestrial life is fundamental to understanding our existence and the universe. It helps us explore whether we are alone, understand the origin and evolution of life, and discover possible extraterrestrial habitats. It is a mix of scientific curiosity, potential for technological advances, and the deep human need to explore the unknown. Pearlfish, also known as Carapidae, have a peculiar relationship with sea cucumbers. These fish often take refuge in the rectum of sea cucumbers to protect themselves from predators. The flag of Denmark, known as the Dannebrog, is the oldest national flag in continuous use. According to legend, it was created on June 15, 1219, during the Battle of Lindenus in Estonia. In 2018, cosmonaut Oleg Artemyev recorded a video of the moon setting below Earth's horizon from the International Space Station. Due to atmospheric refraction, the moon appears to disappear before reaching the edge of the horizon. This phenomenon is caused by the way Earth's atmosphere bends light.
Bro, a content creator known as Big Brow, measures approximately 6.9 feet tall and shares videos showing the everyday challenges he faces due to his height. In his posts, he includes situations such as being close to the ceiling, going to the supermarket, or using the shower, highlighting the difficulties of being so tall.
Pepsi was created in 1893 by pharmacist Caleb Bradham and was originally called Brad's Drink. Bradham sold the beverage in his pharmacy, and the initial formula was intended to aid digestion and provide energy. That is why it included ingredients such as pepsin, a digestive enzyme, and cola nut, from which the name Pepsi-Cola is derived. Interestingly, during the Great Depression in 1931, Pepsi went bankrupt and was put up for sale. Coca-Cola had the opportunity to buy it, but rejected the offer. Today, Pepsi is one of the largest beverage brands in the world and competes directly with Coca-Cola in the global market. Could you move the heaviest sphere in the world? Outside the Virginia Science Museum, there is this peculiar fountain with a large, solid granite sphere. The sphere weighs 50,000 pounds, but you can move it easily, all thanks to the fact that it sits on a thin layer of water. Even a child can move it without difficulty. The hydraulic system allows the axis of rotation of the sphere to be changed, and it can spin in any direction you want. This mechanism is known as a Kugel fountain. Microsoft designed an anechoic chamber in 2015 at its headquarters in Redmond, Washington, which is recognized as the quietest place in the world. In this space, the silence is so absolute that you can hear your own heartbeat and the movement of your bones. Most people cannot tolerate it for more than a few minutes because of the discomfort it causes. Did you know that cockroach milk exists? It provides 4 times more nutrients than cow's milk. It comes from a very particular species, Diploptera punctata, native to Hawaii. Instead of laying eggs, they give birth to live young, which are fed with a non-dairy milk. The kilt, the traditional Scottish skirt, is a national symbol of Scotland and originated in the 16th century. Originally, kilts were pieces of fabric that wrapped around the body and were secured with a belt. Each Scottish clan has its own tartan pattern, which makes kilts a symbol of family identity as well. Today, kilts are worn on formal occasions and cultural events in Scotland. The largest world map made in ancient times was hand-drawn by Italian cartographer Urbano Monti in 1587. It measures approximately 10.8 feet in diameter and was originally composed of 60 sheets. In 2018, a team from Stanford University digitally joined the sheets to form a single large map. Roquefort cheese, one of the most famous blue cheeses in the world, owes its distinctive flavor to a fungus called Penicillium roqueforti found in the caves of Roquefort-sur-Soulzon, France. This cheese has a protected designation of origin, which means it can only be produced in this specific region. Its strong flavor and creamy texture make it a favorite on cheese boards and in gourmet recipes. Nomophobia is a psychological disorder that refers to the irrational fear of being without a mobile phone. Symptoms may include anxiety, rapid heartbeat, and headaches. The term comes from the English phrase no mobile phobia, which literally means fear of not having a mobile phone. It is recommended that people who suffer from nomophobia consult a specialist to receive help and reduce their dependence on the device. Tony Boo is a Spanish trial rider who is a 34-time world champion, with 17 outdoor titles and 17 indoor titles, making him the rider with the most world championships in history. Here is a small example of why he has been so successful. The Peace Flame in Hiroshima, Japan was lit in 1964 and is located in the Peace Memorial Park. This monument symbolizes the desire for a world free of nuclear weapons. Its flame will remain lit until all nuclear weapons are eliminated from the planet. The Flemish giant rabbit is one of the largest rabbit breeds in the world. Its average weight ranges between 13.2 and 22 pounds. However, some specimens can exceed this range, reaching up to 39.7 pounds in exceptional cases. Beyond Brick built a water park made of Lego. This channel is known for content related to LEGO constructions, including creative projects and themed sets. Alex Roca Campillo is the first person in the world with a physical disability of 76% to complete a marathon. He achieved this feat at the Barcelona Marathon in 2023.
Wellington, the capital of New Zealand, is known as the windiest city in the world, with an average wind speed of approximately 17 miles per hour.
This is the Find Fire, a device that activates automatically upon contact with fire and extinguishes it instantly. Its advanced technology allows for a fast and effective response in emergency situations.
The border between Canada and the United States is the longest international border in the world, with a length of approximately 5,525 miles.
The letter J is not present in the periodic table of elements. This is because chemical symbols are derived from Latin, where the letter J did not exist as such, since it was a variant of the letter I. The longest foosball table in the world measures approximately 495.4 feet and was built in Istanbul, Turkey in 2023. This Guinness record surpassed the previous one, which belonged to a table measuring approximately 449.5 feet in China. In 2020, a 48-year-old man in Italy went viral for walking more than 280 miles after an argument with his wife. He began his journey in Como and arrived in the municipality of Fano. He was stopped by police after his wife reported him missing. The man completed the entire journey on foot thanks to the help of people who offered him food and water. Clownfish have a symbiotic relationship with sea anemones, in which both benefit. Anemones provide protection for clownfish, and the fish defend the anemones from potential predators. The moose is the mammal with the largest antlers in the world. These can reach lengths of up to 5.9 feet and weigh around 44.1 pounds. The first widely recognized video game was Pong, created by Nolan Bushnell and released by Atari in 1972. Pong simulated a table tennis game and was one of the first commercially successful arcade video games. Its simplicity and addictive nature laid the foundation for the growth and popularization of the video game industry. The fully electric Rolls-Royce aircraft called Spirit of Innovation completed its 15-minute maiden flight in September of 2021. This aircraft is part of the Excel program and represents a major advance in electric aviation technology. This is how manta rays are fed in captivity. A tube or hose is used so that the food reaches the bottom without being eaten by other fish. In the famous scene from Raiders of the Lost Ark, Indiana Jones is chased by a giant fiberglass stone ball that weighs more than 2,200 pounds. The special effects team rolled it backward so it would appear faster on screen. There are titanium rings with hidden blades designed for practical tasks or personal defense. These rings are made from durable materials such as titanium and feature small but efficient blades that can be used to cut paper or labels. The sari, a traditional Indian garment, is one of the oldest forms of clothing in the world, with more than 5,000 years of history. This long piece of fabric, which can measure between 13 and 29.5 feet, is wrapped around the body in different ways depending on the region and personal style. The sari remains a symbol of Indian cultural identity and is worn on both everyday and ceremonial occasions. Bees breathe through holes called spiracles, located along the sides of their bodies. These spiracles allow gas exchange, enabling them to work inside the hive for long periods of time. Tarot is a set of cards used since the Middle Ages for divination, meditation, and self-knowledge. Its origin is uncertain, but some historians link it to ancient systems of esoteric symbolism and to European card games from the 15th century. What you see on screen is the Toyota e-broom, an electric broom like Harry Potter's that is used for writing. The popular brand Toyota presented this impressive electric vehicle at the Tokyo Motor Show in 2019. The creation is inspired by the Nimbus 2001 from Harry Potter. It works thanks to the broom, which serves as a motor that powers the wheels of the board so it can move. This fun vehicle can reach a speed of approximately 19 miles per hour. Coming out with red eyes in photos is something everyone wants to avoid. However, if your pupils appear white in an image, this could be a sign of serious diseases such as cataracts, retinal disorders, or even eye cancer. Therefore, beyond aesthetic concerns, photos can play an important role in the early detection of eye problems. The Cuyahoga River fire in Cleveland, Ohio occurred on June 22, 1969, due to the high level of pollution on its surface.
This event was an important catalyst for the environmental movement in the United States and led to the creation of the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, in December of 1970.
In the theater of ancient Greece, masks were essential for performances, as they helped actors portray multiple characters and project their voices in open amphitheaters. These masks, made of linen or wood, also expressed exaggerated emotions so they could be seen from far away. This theatrical resource made it possible to tell complex stories and marked the beginning of dramatic art in Western culture.
If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like it and share it with your friends. Subscribe so you don't miss more interesting content. Leave your comments and click on any of these videos. See you next time.